completely fictional and any coincidences are just that, coincidences. He questions the staff, neighbors, and relatives, but everyone has an alibi. It seems the case has reached a dead end, until Mr. Ivan notices a strange pattern on the living room rug. He realizes it's not just a pattern but a cipher that points to a secret passage behind a bookshelf. Following the passage, the detective finds an old typewriter on which the writer's last novel has been typed, but with a different ending. It turns out the writer faked his own death to start a new life under a different name. But why did he leave the word, the end? Perhaps it was a message for someone who knew his secret. Mr. Ivan carefully presses one of the books, and the shelf slides away, revealing a narrow passage. He makes his way through dust and cobwebs until he finds himself in a small room. On the table lies the same sheet of paper with the word, the end, but now, faint numbers are visible on the back. Mr. Ivan cross-references them with the sequential number of the novel on the shelf and finds the correct page. It describes a hiding place in the garden, where the writer buried a chest with his valuables and a new passport. Mr. Ivan realizes the writer planned to escape, but something went wrong. Perhaps he was in a hurry and accidentally locked himself in his own study, or maybe someone else knew about his plans and decided to speed things up. Mr. Ivan carefully goes out into the garden and finds an old oak tree, under which, according to the novel, the chest was supposed to be hidden. He begins to dig and soon unearths a wooden chest. Upon opening it, he finds not only valuables and a passport but also a pistol. Mr. Ivan realizes that the writer wasn't just planning to disappear. He was preparing for something more serious. But for what? And who could have known about his plans? Maybe it was someone in his close circle who was jealous of his success or wanted to get their hands on his wealth. Mr. Ivan concludes that the writer was killed for his money or out of jealousy. He begins to investigate his circle of acquaintances and learns that the writer had many enemies. Perhaps it was a relative who wanted to inherit his estate, or a competitor who was jealous of his success. Mr. Ivan gathers evidence and eventually finds the person behind the crime. Mr. Ivan returns to the writer's mansion and re-examines his notes. He finds a description of an old locket that the writer inherited from his grandfather. A strange symbol is engraved on the locket, similar to the one on the pistol. Mr. Ivan begins to search for information about this symbol and learns that it belonged to a secret society that searched for ancient artifacts. Maybe the writer found something that shouldn't have been disturbed, and someone from the society decided to punish him. After finding a flash drive, Mr. Ivan discovers that the writer was investigating a major financial scam that involved influential people, even the US president. He learned that they created a financial pyramid scheme to fraudulently collect money from Americans. The flash drive contained a full list of everyone involved in the scam. Mr. Ivan knew this was very dangerous information, but he couldn't ignore it. Mr. Ivan delved deeper into the investigation, found private detectives who were helping the journalist, and learned that they had stumbled upon a large group of influential people involved in financial fraud. But the deeper he dug, the more he realized this was a dangerous business. Eventually, he was warned to stop the investigation, but Mr. Ivan was too stubborn. One day, while reviewing old documents in the writer's mansion, Mr. Ivan came across strange records. They spoke of a large financial deal involving influential people. The more he read, the more suspicious he became. Later, he found a flash drive with encrypted data. After decrypting it, Mr. Ivan was horrified. It turned out that a few months before the tragedy of 9/11, one of the Twin Towers was insured for a huge sum. And the records contained details about the preparation of the terrorist attack, allegedly carried out by Al-Qaeda. Mr. Ivan realized that the writer had uncovered a terrible conspiracy, and now his life was in danger. Mr. Ivan called his friend, a well-known investigative journalist. "I've uncovered a terrible conspiracy," he said with a trembling voice. "Very influential people are behind this, even the president. They allowed the 9/11 terrorist attack to happen to start a war and get rich from insurance payouts." At first, his friend didn't believe him, but Mr. Ivan provided irrefutable evidence. "We have to make this public," he insisted. "People need to know the truth." They arranged to meet to discuss the details of the publication. But Mr. Ivan didn't know he was being followed. "You won't believe what I found out," Mr. Ivan told his friend over the phone. "That Twin Towers incident, it's not just a terrorist attack. It's part of a big conspiracy. Influential people, even the president, knew about the attack's preparation. They wanted to start a war in Afghanistan because there's a lot of money at stake. And then there's the building's insurance, billions of dollars. Or maybe they just needed the land in the city center for new buildings. It's horrifying. That's unbelievable, the friend replied. I have to check this out. Let's meet and discuss the details. Maybe at that cafe by the park. Is 8 o'clock good? I agree, this is important. But let's not take any risks. Let's meet at my office. It's safer there. Okay, it's a deal. See you tomorrow, Mr. Ivan replied. He hung up the phone and felt a chill run down his spine. He knew he was being watched and that this meeting could be his last. But he couldn't stop. He had to tell the world the truth. The next morning, Mr. Ivan didn't show up at the journalist's office. His phone was not answering. The friend became alarmed and contacted the police. An investigation began, but no trace of Mr. Ivan was found. Only a few weeks later was his body pulled from the river. The forensics report said the death was an accident, but the journalist didn't believe it. He knew Mr. Ivan was killed to hide the truth. He decided to continue the investigation, despite the danger. After all, Mr. Ivan gave his life for the truth to come out.